friends, it's me, Peter, and welcome to day 11 of my 25 Days of Christmas Reviews. Now, I owe you guys an apology. Last night, I promised you that I was going to review the sequel to a movie I reviewed last year. Well, when I went to Family Video today to pick up the copy of it, lo and behold, somebody had already checked it out. So, instead, I went browsing through their Christmas section until I found a movie that I was not planning on reviewing, but I figured, it's got a similar enough title to the movie I was going to review that I figured I'd take a look at it. And that, of course, is Santa Claus, the movie. The movie initially starts off as an origin story, talking about how Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus came to be, and how they ended up at the North Pole, along with all the elves making toys for children every single year. As the centuries go by, Santa Claus continues to deliver presents on every Christmas Eve, with the help of several of his elves, including Patch, played by Dudley Moore. But then one Christmas, after Patch is promoted to head elf, something goes horribly wrong and all the toys end up getting returned. Frustrated, Patch then leaves for New York City to prove that he can be worthy of being Santa's head elf. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you guys. This movie was a complete chore to sit through. Now, I had known it wasn't a great Christmas movie, as the Nostalgia Critic had actually reviewed this movie, but I did not realize how incredibly boring it was. And not only boring, but all over the place. I seriously think this movie did not know what its plot was supposed to be. I only told you about the plot involving the origin story and the plot involving Patch. I didn't tell you about the plot that involved the little boy who was abandoned and is basically an orphan, or about the girl he likes, or about her evil step-uncle who runs a toy company that creates shoddy toys that have nails in them. There are all these plots going on at once, and while some of them do intertwine, others really don't go anywhere. I honestly think the plot with the evil step-uncle was shoehorned in, because it literally goes nowhere. I mean, it's kind of the impetus for some of the plot points, but overall, it really goes nowhere. There is no resolution to this plot at all. And since I don't do spoilers, I'm not going to tell you why it doesn't have a resolution, so you're going to have to see the movie for yourself, but trust me when I say it is just so stupid what happens. This is also the ultimate adults are useless movie, because there are a couple adults in this movie that literally don't do anything. It almost makes you wonder if they weren't in a first draft, but then they were written in later versions because they realized they didn't have a full-length movie on their hands. In fact, and I can't prove this, but part of me thinks this was just originally intended to be an origin story about Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus, and it kind of grew from there because they realized they didn't have enough for a full-length movie. Because, as I said, a lot of these plot points don't go anywhere. There's a couple random scenes that are just weird. There's a couple plot points that seem like they came out of nowhere. It's just a complete jumbled mess of a movie. It certainly doesn't help that the actors don't seem very invested. I mean, David Huddleston, who plays Santa Claus, seems bored a couple times, and he looks like he's kind of phoning it in. The kid who plays Joe, the abandoned boy, he's not even trying in some scenes. And I know he's a kid actor. I know he never did anything after this movie, but his scenes are really painful to watch. The girl's not bad, and Dudley Moore's not bad either, and actually John Lithgow is a very good over-the-top, not very serious villain, which is, frankly, isn't that the role of every villain he ever plays? That's what I thought anyway. Honestly, I don't blame the Nostalgia Critic for reviewing this movie, because it's pretty bad. There are some parts that are kind of unintentionally funny, but it just didn't do anything for me, and sadly, this Christmas movie is not one I would recommend. I give Santa Claus, the movie, a 1 out of 5. Thanks for watching my latest movie review, my friends. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more Christmas reviews, simply click that subscribe button down below. Tune in tomorrow when I review yet another Christmas TV special by Rankin Bass. Until then, this is Peter saying see you later.